All right. Hey, everybody, it's Ray here, and welcome to our webinar about webinars. So it should be a very exciting presentation today that's going to teach you everything you've ever wanted to know about running webinars and being able to profit from those webinars. And we have a very special guest who, an interesting backstory. She actually was kind of a neighbor of mine, but I didn't know her when she was a neighbor. And then I met her in Las Vegas with her husband when they lived across the ocean in another country. I know, kind of weird, right? Well, in any case, with us right now is Kim DeVries. Kim, pop on in here if you can and say hello to everybody.
Hey, I think you can hear me. I think you can see me right now. Hey, everyone, I'm so excited to be here with Ray. And yes,
Like I said, we met in Vegas after being neighbors and not knowing it for, I don't know how long, for quite a while. And you lived overseas by then, so.
Yeah, we actually have common friends in Utah.
Yep, we absolutely do. You used to work with them before I knew them, and then I worked with them when you had moved away. Kind of a strange way to meet, but in any case, it led to this, where we get to do a great presentation today all about webinars. And before we get started with any of that, if you're on here right now, I want you to give me a 1 in the chat box, just so we can make sure that you can hear us and that we're ready to teach everything that we can about you making money with webinars. And I can see the ones are starting to roll in there. Good. All right. So it looks like I see Phyllis and Bob and Mike. Okay, excellent. So it looks like everybody can hear us. So today we're going to talk a little bit about webinars, and Kim and her husband Danny, who's in the background there. Danny, you can say hi if you want. I don't know if we can hear you or not, but
yeah, you can hear.
You can. Hey guys.
But they've put together a webinar platform that allows you to run webinars, and at least during this week, you're not going to be paying the crazy high prices of all the other webinar softwares out there. Now, come about a week from now, they will pay those crazy prices if they wait. But right now, you can get this for a tremendous discount on the launch week. And of course, webinars, if you haven't used webinars before, they are a great way to be able to make money for yourself, to be able to make presentations, to teach people, and can be used in a variety of situations, whether you're selling products or maybe you're trying to meet with local businesses and you're going to teach something that can help local businesses. You can get them all together and then sell your services on the end. You can use it for a variety of reasons. In fact, my wife recently started a new business where she is a travel agent, and she's watched about 100 hours of webinars in the last couple of weeks. So they can be used for a lot of different things. And that's why we wanted to bring Kim in here, so that she could talk about how she uses webinars and how her new platform can help you to be able to do new webinars without paying all the crazy prices. So Kim, I'll leave it over to you now.
Thanks so much, Ray. So I'm going to be running through a presentation, and while I could keep all of the mics on and I could keep all of the windows on, I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera off. And Ray, you can stay on or switch it off, whatever you want to do. And I'll go ahead.
I can't eat cookies if it's on, so I'll probably turn it off as well.
Yeah, and I spare people because I have to take drinks of water, and I don't think they really want to see me do that. So I'll give them something better to look at on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera off here. But yeah, that's exactly why we're here today, is so that we can go ahead and talk about how you can actually earn money during a webinar. And this is something that I really enjoy doing. Not everyone is into giving webinars or presenting, but this is something I really, really enjoy doing. So let's talk about why you're on this webinar. And you may fit into any one of these categories. Number one, you may have a job, but you aren't getting the fulfillment that you want. I think we've all been there at some point in our lives, right? Maybe you don't have a job and you're figuring out what you're going to do next. Maybe that's the situation you're in. Or maybe you're looking to start a business of your own. Or maybe you're that person who has a successful business, but you don't know how to scale it without working those long 16-hour days. No matter which situation you're in, I want you to know, and Ray will attest to it as well, you're in the right place at the right time. So we're so excited that you're here. Now, if you stay till the end, I will be giving away free access. This is, Ray and I have decided that we're going to go ahead and give away free access to my 6 weeks of high ticket webinar training, and that's starting November 13th. So that's something that, you know, is a benefit for you for knowing Ray and for being on this webinar. So yeah, good deal. Is it a deal? Just give me a one in the chat. Okay, Ray says it's a good deal, and I can see him rolling in, so we're going to go ahead. I want to give you a promise. My promise to you is that if you go away with nothing else, you're going to leave with knowing how you can create top-selling webinars without any experience or without a product of your own. So that's what I'm promising you today. That's what you're going to leave with. So this will definitely be time worth spent. Why am I doing this? Well, I thought I had to think about that too. So I'm doing this because I see too many people slaving away at jobs that they just don't like. There are too many entrepreneurs that are working these long, long days just to make ends meet. And I see people who aren't stopping to think about what's really making them tick. So people are working at a job for years on end. They don't really like it, and they get to a certain point in life, and maybe they reach that point early and maybe they reach it late. But I like to see people stop and really figure out what's making them tick, right? There's too many excuses of why people aren't earning what they deserve. I hear it all the time, and I get so tired of it. And when you have something you can give the world, I believe it's your duty to do it. Now, I also know that you're just a few steps away from having what you want out of life, and perhaps you just don't know how to get there. I mean, I've been there as well. I think we've all been there. So let me talk about the myth. The myth is that success is luck. How many times have you heard that? Oh, you're just lucky. Oh, she's just lucky. Oh, he's just lucky. He just got a good break. Success isn't luck. I tell my kids there's no such thing as luck. Here's the truth. The truth is success is a process. It's a process. And here's what I need from you before we start. I need a big gong, right? That's a gong, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. I need your full attention. So the reason I play that is so that I make sure I have your full attention. I need your commitment that you'll follow each step that I give you on this call and follow my lead, because this is something that I have been doing for a while, and there's some value that I can give you here as well. I need you to be engaged with me and respond to you so that you can get the most out of your time here today. And also make sure that you can't be interrupted. So this is the point where I turn off my phone, I close the doors, I put a hat on the doorbell so that nobody can ring the doorbell, that type of thing. And the gong that I played, here, let's play it again. I want you to hear this sound again. That's the gong. I love these gong moments. Sometimes people call them a light bulb moment, and I call them gong moments because a gong, what it does is it resonates deep within, okay? It's not a thud, right? You hear a thud, right? It's a gong, and you feel it from the inside out. You feel that it's truth. You feel that it's right. You feel that you need to take action, whatever it is for you. But I'd love to know about your gong moments. So feel free to share those as we're going along, and let me know when you have that gong moment. So who am I? Kimberly Reeves. Who's this lady? Just a little bit about me. I am a mother, and I actually have 7 children. I gave birth to 4 children, and then 3 of them are my stepchildren, and I'm also a grandmother. So I'm somebody that most people can, in some way or shape or form, relate to because of the simple fact that I've got a family, and family is very important to me. I'm also a coach. I'm a spokesperson. I'm a moderator. I'm a presenter. I've done news anchoring. I've done reporting. But most of all, I'm an online marketer, and I've got over 20 years experience in professional communication. What I love more than anything is communication. When you've got good communication, that solves so many problems. And so that's one of my main passions is communication. I've generated over 7 figures in sales in online marketing using my own success process. And you can see the pictures here are some of the products that we've actually brought to the market. And I've enjoyed doing that. And the point is, I've done a lot of things right, but that's not even the best part. The best part is that I've done a lot of things wrong. So I've gone through the trenches. I've gone, oh my heavens, sometimes you're just pulling your hair out. So after doing this for 20 years, I've learned a couple things. And I actually take this quote from my husband, Danny, is that every idiot brings something, right? There are hidden gems inside every person and every business that are worth 6 to 7 figures. But the thing is, people don't know how to monetize them. Now, you can use these gems in your business today, and you can actually start earning 4, 5, or 6 figures per month. Thing is, a lot of people don't quite recognize what those gems in their business or gems in themselves are. Because the fact of the matter is that most of the time, when something comes really easy to us, that is your gem, and that's something you probably won't recognize until somebody else points it out to you. So give me a 1 in the chat box if you've ever noticed that. Somebody has told you something about yourself that they say, you're so great at that, you really ought to do such and such. And you're like, what? Well, I can't make money from doing that. That's my hobby. That's what I enjoy. I can't make money with that. Because we've been trained, yeah, I can see you all agree, you know what it's like. We've been trained that you have to go to school, get a job, go to college. You know, we've been trained in a certain mindset. And the fact of the matter is that there is such beauty with to do is find what that is, and then you take that and you monetize that. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. But that's another area that I like to focus on, is the fact that you can take what you have now, whatever knowledge you have now, and you can begin monetizing it. You just need to be clear about what that is. So be with me here, have your gong moments, and find some clarity, and I'd love to help you through that. Now, there's a simple step-by-step process that you can follow to achieve your success using my system that's been proven, and I've been doing it for about 4 years now. Now, most people, this is one of the quotes I love. I got to grab a drink. So read this quote to yourself, and then I'm gonna be with you in just a sec. Bob Proctor, one of my favorite mentors. I used to live in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. He used to meet a group of people for masterminds there. And he said, most people are not going after what they want. Even the most serious goal seekers and goal setters are going after what? What they think they can get. How sad is that? How sad is that we have put these limits, this glass ceiling on our own brains, on our own abilities, on our own potential, that we say, well, I don't want to set a goal for 3 million because I don't think I can get that. So I'll set it for something safe, and let's say I'll set it for, I don't know, 50,000. That's pretty safe, right? Well, we don't need to do that. We can think bigger. We can be bigger. So I discovered a couple of things the hard way. Now, you can take the shortcut, take the easy way, because I'm going to share with you some gems that I've learned that you can take and actually turn around and get monetizing right away. So let me tell you about the hard way of doing things, and maybe some of you can relate. Fiverr. I moved to a new country and began trading my time for money. I had been trading my time for money for years. And actually, trading my time for money, I mean, I really was not one of those people who said, I really can't stand my job. I tend to like whatever I do. So I had to look at myself and say, well, but it's not really that effective. So I came to a new country, had no means of working. I wasn't legal to work, so I had to just kind of, twiddle my thumbs, read books, and go to the gym and stuff like that. And that's just not fulfilling enough. So I figured out Fiverr, and I was like, oh, cool, I can do these gigs, and I can, I enjoy it, so it's fun. But it's still trading time for money. So I did a lot of it, took a lot of time. I sold thousands of products online for 27 bucks. I added lots of bonuses, talking to lots of affiliates, doing the you scratch my back and I'll scratch your back affiliate game. And I got burnt out on promotions. I was churning and burning my list. All of this is happening. And I thought, there must be a better way to earn money online. So do you want to know my secret formula that bangs me $15,000 in just an hour and a half? If you do, just give me a yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Give it to me, they say. Give it to me, I want to know. So here's a secret. Write this down or ingrain this in your brain. Create top-selling webinars without any experience or product of your own. Here's my secret formula. Go back into algebra class. LTO plus HTC equals 15K in 1.5 hours. It's really not algebra. Okay, I never was that great in math. I got good grades, but it wasn't my passion. High-ticket webinars. It's a low-ticket offer and a high-ticket converter. Now, I'm going to get more into this, so don't let me lose you here. Now, imagine creating a single high-ticket webinar and getting paid each and every day. And what I mean is that you create that single high-ticket webinar one time, and then that gets you paid every day. So think about what you would do with your life if you could do that. What would you do differently? Would you change something? Would you travel more? Would you buy that car that you've been dreaming about? Would you take your family on a holiday that's so, so necessary? You know, you have to decide what you would do with that. And what's your spouse going to say, by the way? Oh, honey. And what are your kids going to think when you come home and you're making twice the money that you used to? Wouldn't it be awesome if you could earn your first $1,000 online? Or maybe for some of you, I'm talking small. Maybe you're like, hey, Kim, yeah, give me my first 10,000 online. Let's reach that point, right? In a certain period of time. So wherever you are in that, I do need to let you know my results aren't typical. I'll walk you through a system that's earning me huge sales numbers right now. And my results are not typical because the average person who attends doesn't get results. I'll tell you why. There's one reason. They don't take action. It's very simple. They don't take action. But I'm happy to show you exactly what's working for me. I am an action taker, and I do have to let you know this is not get rich quick. It's not for people who are like, yeah, need something for nothing. It's not. It's not for people who are into MLMs or pyramid schemes or want to do something easy, or, you know, it's not for amateurs. So if you're ready to kind of dig in and say, okay, I know that I've got to put my shoulder to the wheel and do some work, but I'm willing to do it, then let's talk about my secrets. Here they come. Are you ready for them? Well, I've already shown it on the screen. I'm feeding you too fast. I can make more money online in one day selling a high-ticket product on a webinar than I can make in a whole month selling or promoting normal products. This is proven. This is not theory. This is proven. This is what I have proven. Secret number 2, I don't have to spend a ton of money every month to run my webinars. May surprise you, right? Secret number 3, I personally don't have to spend time on these webinars. Now, this is a big plus when, like me, you're running a big family. And secret number 4, I only need a little traffic to make this work. We're talking about 100 clicks per day. And some of you who may be into, you know, all of your knowing your clicks and how many you need to get certain sales, you know that 100 clicks is not that much in one day. Okay, so I can make more money in one day selling a high-ticket product on a webinar than I can in a whole month selling or promoting normal products. Here's what I used to do. Grinding away, you know, selling these products. I've got one here for 47, I've got one here for 26, and then promoting, the hard work. I would create presentations that were walkthrough presentations. This would take me hours to put a promotion together. I would do a video. I would do. I'd have to make my emails. I'd have to, you know, oftentimes I ran them out through social media, so I'd have to get those into an app to run out, and it took a lot of time. Let's do the math here to talk about, you know, earnings and stuff. If you've got a $37 product and you want to make $5,000 a month, you need to sell 135 products. You're looking at about a 3% conversion rate, and you're going to need 4,500 clicks. Now, your cost per click, this is talking from 2017, is 97 cents. So you're looking at about $1, about $1 per click. You're going to need $4,360 per month in order to run ads to get that, and you're not going to make any profit, right? So you're basically throwing it out the window. The old model, create a product for 27 to 37 bucks to solve a problem that they can fix themselves, build out a funnel, split the product into 3 different versions, create the pages, create the videos, create all of that good stuff, and then sell the product using hundreds of affiliates or thousands of dollars spent on advertisements in order to get your traffic there, and you're not going to have personal contact. And this is one of the things that I just really have struggled with. No personal contact. I like to have personal contact. That's why I love doing webinars, because I get to actually have some contacts, and when I can actually come and Ray and I can talk beforehand, that's just so fulfilling for me. You're also going to get tons of refunds if you do it this way, the old way. Usually you're looking at about 20%. So let me tell you about the new model. Create one high-ticket offer. It's going to have full service concept. You're going to present it on a perfectly constructed webinar, and I'm going to show you about that. You're going to run ads on autopilot, and you're only going to need 100 clicks per day. And guess what? You're going to have little to no refunds. Yeah, how's that for awesome? Here again is my secret formula. LTO, that's a low ticket offer, plus a high ticket converter is 15,000 in 1.5 hours. I did an experiment. So here's my proof. So what I did is I created a full service package for a LEDX product. I prepared a kick butt presentation. It took me a little bit of time. I ran a webinar to our client base, and that's when the 15,000 from a single webinar came in. It was all from that high ticket solution. So here's the results. Here you can see that I've got an average order value of $9.59. I only made this from 14 total customers, and I had 15 transactions, and there's my gross revenue, $13,998. And I had a little more rolling in after that to bring me up to the 15. And this is just the people who paid me. And you can see they're paying me big bucks, you know, $500 there, $500 there. So what you do if you want to do this, and I'm giving you away my secrets, some of my secrets, you're going to get a low ticket offer. And how do you do that? You can go to this site right here. It's http://super-resell.com. And you can grab a low ticket offer right there. You can get white label or reseller products. And then you can also look at launches, because launches are, if you want to do that, at muncheye.com. That's where you get your low ticket offer. But here's the gold mine, Udemy. So give me a U in the chat box, find it on your keyboard, give me a U if you have heard of Udemy and you know the power of Udemy. Maybe you don't know the power of it. I'm seeing a lot of you. So people have heard of it. Maybe you don't know the power of it, but you've heard of Udemy. I've got a little story to tell you about Udemy. So what you can do is go into Udemy, and in that section, I have to tell you my story real quick. So when I first heard about Udemy, I was doing Fiverr at that time. And I was like, okay, I need to do something else. Fiverr's okay, but I want more. So I was like, I could create like a training on how to hire a spokesperson or something like that. I was like, I want to create a training. And I went in and looked at the rules of Udemy. And I actually got a pen and paper, and I started writing down the steps I'd have to take. And then after I filled up the whole sheet, and I like to write by hand, even though we have this technological age, because I learn as I write. So there's something about pen to paper. And I got to the end of the page, and I went, oh my goodness, this is a lot of work. It's really a lot of work. And I lost my drive to create my Udemy course. So there's my little story. I don't consider myself a lazy person, but man, I thought, boy, that's a lot of work. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to go create a course. What you can do is there's already people who've gone before. Call them pioneers. Call them they showed you the way, right? And you can go in, look at what they're offering, and just take a look and model it. You don't have to create everything from scratch, which is what I was completely on my way to doing. Now, I want you to take a look here, because this wonderful gentleman has created a course on photography. And you can see that $199.99 is what he had it listed for. And you can see that price crossed off. And what are they selling it for? What is Udemy selling it for? €10.99. This is in euro. €10.99. Really? He created a course that should sell for $200, and they're giving it away for $10. It's because they do these sales. So if you create a course on Udemy, you've spent all this time, you've put all this effort in, and then they're selling your course for really cheap. But what I'm saying is Udemy is a great place to get inspiration. So get inspiration, and you can model something and make it easier on yourself. I'm not telling you, and I'm not advocating you to copy anything. I'm saying learn from what other pioneers have done before you, and then model it. So e-learning is huge. All right. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you think e-learning has some potential to make some money online. You think? Yeah. So 1, scroll all the way up the screen, because it's a $260 billion market by 2023. And guys and gals, it is not going to get any smaller. It is, I mean, schools are having to alter the way they teach because there's so much information on the internet. Kids are now being brought up and schooled by YouTube, right? So, I mean, we have to limit time with the kids on their things because they're just following the YouTube people, and that's their role models these days, right? But e-learning is huge, and it's going to get huger. So let's talk about converting to high ticket. So I've talked to you about the low ticket offers, convert to high ticket. Converting something to high ticket is not that hard to do. Depends on how much work you want to put in it. You can convert to high ticket, but add anything that's done for you. So for example, you've got a low ticket offer and you're going to, it's going to be about photography and you're going to do something done for you. So you're going to add something in that you can do for them. For example, I've done videos, I've done voiceovers because there's a talent that I have and that's something that I help to get in my high ticket. So think about what you can do with that. Anything done with you. So things like that would include trainings, things like that. So you're going to do something with your customers who are going to buy your high ticket program and you're going to add value into it. You can do group coaching. Group coaching is great because you can take and coach a lot of people at once. So you're not one-on-one, so it's not taking all of your time with one-on-one, but each person in the group adds something. And so it actually makes a type of community. One-on-one, if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. You can usually charge a lot more for one-on-one. Remember, it's your time. So, and the people who get the one-on-one should be paying prices to get the one-on-one, right? That's why we call it a high ticket converter. Live events are a great way to convert to high ticket. Masterminds, and people love these. People love masterminds because it's usually a select few who get in and you can really corroborate and work with people who are of a similar mindset. Blueprints, so the way to get something done, right? These are all things you're going to add in to your low ticket offer. And cheat sheets. So these are all things to add in. So again, I'm going to go back to my secret formula. So low ticket offer plus a high ticket converter that's going to earn you $15,000 in 1.5 hours on a high ticket webinar. So for example, you can take like agency version of something, a white label, a PLR product, if you know that's a private label rights product, add to it done for you templates or done for you sales video or done for you, whatever your talent is, whatever. And like I said, going back to, you know, you've got to understand what it is inside of you that's valuable that you can add in because all of you have something. You all have something that you can do, maybe group coaching. You have learned something in a way nobody else can teach it. And I am an advocate of you taking something you have within you and getting it out there to the world. I believe you have a duty to do that. And doing it this way with a low ticket offer, adding your high ticket converter, adding your personalization, adding that greatness within you, that's the way to get paid what you're worth and to enjoy doing it because you're giving of yourself, you're giving of that value inside you, that gemness. So I don't have to spend a ton of money each month to run my webinars. That's my second secret. Now let me talk to you about webinar systems. All right, so here's the pricing for 500 attendees. You got GoToWebinar. This has been my love-hate relationship for years. You got Demio. We tried it, didn't work, left it. You got Zoom. This one's a fairly new one, and I've got a couple friends who've used it. I personally haven't tried it. $185 a month for that one, $249 a month for that one, and $234 a month for that one. My goodness. So what I did, and part of the reason that I've used GoToWebinar for so long until now, is that I paid $1,850, that's $1,850 for a legacy GoToWebinar account. It would support 1,000 attendees. So I bought it from a friend. A friend said, hey, I've got this legacy account. I'm not going to be doing webinars anymore. Does anyone want it? I said, yes, please, because I'm going to be doing webinars and I don't want to pay that $200 and $300 current rate for this account. So I did it. I forked up $1,850 to get the account so that I could have the potential, of course, to go online and sell stuff, right, through a webinar. Go on and train people through a webinar. But that's not all. I pay $79 per month, and this is in euro, for that account. So I paid an upfront of $1,850, and then I paid $79 per month. Here's my renewal price, $79. Again, I got lucky. Remember, I said there's no such thing as luck, but I set my intention in such a way that I was able to get a really great legacy deal. But I'm still paying $79 per month every single month. Now, there are months I don't run a webinar, and guess what? It's like a gym membership. I still pay for it. And if I go on vacation, I still pay for it. And so, yeah, that's what it is. So why are they so expensive? Everyone asks. Why? Why do you have to pay so much? How can I? Okay, here's why. on the left, you can see these webinar streams. You got to take all your streams, right? You've got your share screen, your webcam, you've got your videos, you've got your slides, and we stick them and we put them into a service provider. We send them to the service provider. At the service provider, normally, those streams are then sent out all individually. So look how many streams you've got coming out, right? And at the end, what you see is the attendee screen. There's your attendee screen right there. So I thought, there's got to be a better way. There has just got to be a better way to do this. You know, the way they used to do things in the olden days, the way they used to make cars, things have changed. And so I thought there's got to be a better way. So single streaming solution, let me introduce you. What we do is we take our screen share, our webcam, our videos, and our slides, and we send them to the service provider. At the service provider, we compile them into one single stream, and then we send it to the attendee. The attendee screen looks the same as it did on the multiple stream that we are implementing with Webinar HD. Single streams allow for better broadcasting live. So you can go live on Facebook, you can go live on YouTube, and what that does for you is it gets you unlimited free traffic. So you all know how big social media is these days. I mean, if you're not on social media, you're nobody, right? So social media is a really great way to grow your business, and it's a fantastic way to get free traffic. So what we did, like I've been leading up to is, and like you already know, is that we've created Webinar HD. It's the most reliable webinar platform. It's what we love. We want you to be able to live your passion. And that's what we created. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But first, I want to tell you more about secret number 3. I don't have to personally spend time on the webinars I've been talking to you about. It's a big plus when you run a big family like me, or you've got other hobbies you want to enjoy, or you want to go on a holiday. So let's talk about why. So why would you want to spend less time on webinars? Well, 3 reasons. Here's a couple of reasons that you shouldn't spend all your time on webinars. People like me, people like you, you're too busy running a family. You've got other businesses. You know, you've got other things to handle. Running a webinar takes a lot of time and energy. So there are days when it's like, I'm just not in the mood to do a webinar, you know? And with what I'm going to teach you, you don't have to be in the mood to do a webinar, and you can still run your webinar. Modern day technology is wonderful. It's just not necessary to spend all that time every time you want a webinar on the webinar. So you need a system to solve that problem, right? You just need a system that runs webinars for you. We call those evergreen webinars. You may have heard of them. We at Webinar HD call them forever Webinar HDs. And that's what we have, that is part of Forever Webinars. It is available inside Webinar HD. Sorry, I just changed screens and then I saw my video there, because this is a video that is played when you register. You guys probably have already seen that, but there's a video that's played for each different screen you go to in Webinar HD. And it threw me off because I saw myself, and sometimes I don't know if you've ever presented anything, or if you've ever been on camera and you're kind of camera shy. It's like you don't want to watch yourself perform again. That's that shyness. I don't know. I guess it hit me for a second. So forever webinars, yeah. I only need a little traffic to make this work. About 100 clicks a day. So let me go back to selling low-ticket products, right? This was, just to remind you, what it used to be, $37 a product, $5,000 a month, 135 products sold at 3% conversion, 4,500 clicks. Cost per click at about $1, Facebook average in 2017, and that's going to give you $4,360 per month is what you're going to spend if you're spending ads on this in order to get those 4,500 clicks. Now, that's if you don't have a list. If you have a list, it's going to be a little bit easier on you, right? Selling high-ticket products. You're selling a $5,000 product, for example. We're going to go with that for my example. 1 out of 10, this is a numbers game, guys. It's now a numbers game. 1 out of 10 who visits your registration page is going to attend. You can just count on it. 1 out of 10 who attends is going to buy. And 100 clicks and 10 attendees and 1 buyer is going to equal you your $5,000 and cost plus or minus $100, right? So that's if you're doing a $5,000 product. Imagine if you're selling a $10,000 product, or a $25,000 product, or $100,000. If you're not comfortable with the $5,000, you can always make that $1,000. So let me give you 3 easy steps to crush it on your webinar. It's really simple, just 3 steps. Get them to register, thank them for registering, and share your replay. Pretty simple. So back to my secrets. First secret, I can make more money online in one day selling a high-ticket product than I can in a month selling or promoting normal products. I don't have to spend a ton of money every month to run my webinars. I don't personally have to spend time on these webinars by using my Forever webinars, and I only need a little traffic to make it work. So I need to get your permission. Can I show you now Webinar HD, the offer that we have? That's a complete killer deal. I can't even finish my sentence before they're like, yes, 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 yes. Okay, I won't bore you. So here is the value of instant webinars. This is well over 1,850. Just take a look at the table. You can see at the bottom, $260 a month, $249, $340, and then this is for the commercial license that we're offering this for. Now, the commercial license, why do you want that? We offer a personal and a commercial version. Personal is if you're only teaching something or you'd never want to sell anything. You can use the personal version. If you want to sell anything ever on a webinar, you need to get the commercial license. So with the commercial license, another thing that's really important to note, remember how I bought that legacy account of GoToWebinar and I paid like $18.50 for it and then $79 per month for it? Well, if you get the commercial license, you're grandfathered in at that price, meaning that when we raise the price, which we'll be raising to a monthly rate right after launch is over, then you will not have to pay that monthly rate. You've already got your account, so you're good to go. And then if you, for some reason, just decide, oh, webinar's not my thing, I'm not going to use it, like my friend did, and he sold me his thing, then you can sell it to someone else. And I don't even care how much you sell it for. Be my guest. So that's the value in getting the commercial version. You can also stream live to Facebook and YouTube. This is a value well over $497. We've added in there right to the front end. I do need to tell you that your Forever webinars are an upsell, so I want to make sure that you understand that. But on the front end, you can stream live to YouTube and Facebook right there. So here's what you're going to get. Instant Webinar HD, it's an $1,850 value. You're going to get the Webinar HD module, the live module, and now we're at a value of $2,347. Pretty big value. But I'm going to give you some bonuses in there. These are well over $97 for this first bonus, and this is our exclusive VIP Facebook membership, where you can go in, collaborate with other action takers who are also into webinars using the platform, and that's also included in there. Now, we will open that up right after we finish launch, so when you pick up Webinar HD, just be a little patient because we're going to open that up right after launch closes, and then we'll be in there and we'll be helping y'all out and collaborating with you. So we're now up to a value of $2,444, and then I'm going to do also 90 minutes of professional training. So with that, that's well over $297 in value, and this 90 minutes is important, okay, because this is going to allow you to really hit the ground running. So we're going to go through and give you a full walkthrough of the application, how you can grow your business using webinars in your business. So now we're up to $2,741. And then this is my favorite part. This is my favorite bonus because it's giving of myself. And I'm going to give you my webinar funnel spokesperson videos. This is well over $397 value. I'm also going to give you the green screen one. So you've got, notice that you've got a registration video, a thank you video, and then I'm also doing a waiting room video. So you've got all 3 of them, and then you've also got them on a green screen. Now you can do your own videos if you want, but if you don't want to, then I'm there for you to help you out. Adding that value in, we're now at $3,138. So I want you to think about this for just a minute. All this did, if all Webinar HD did for you, is finally make your business profitable. Would that be worth it to you? What if it gave you that kick in the butt to finally get moving? Would that be worth it? And what if it did is gave you 2 to 3 high-ticket clients per month? Would that be worth it to you? Question you need to ask yourself. So in order to answer that question, maybe you need to know what a client is worth to you. So what is a client worth to you? Give it to me in the chat box. What is a client worth to you? Some of you know. Some of you are still figuring that out. 2,000? Okay. Yep. 10,000. Okay, you know what your clients are worth. So we've got quite a few different numbers coming in here. So quite a different varying. Maybe you don't quite know what your client's worth. If you think about how much would you pay to get one high ticket client per month? Because if they're paying you high ticket, right? If let's say your client's worth 5,000 and you know that, and they're paying you each month. Okay, let's see if this makes sense. So if you sell a high ticket product at 5,000, would it make sense to give me 5,000 just one time? Because every time after that, you're getting pure profit. Every sale you make after that is pure profit. So you can see why this is a good deal at 5,000, right? Because if you pay me 5,000, I've given you all the secrets, I've given our AA stuff. I'm not going to charge you 5,000. It's a launch special discount at 97, just 97 bucks. So you can see the value of being able to go ahead, add on your converters to make that low ticket offer a high ticket converter. And I'm going to give you a coupon on that as well. It's WHD 4 off. This is available until 2 a.m. on November 2nd. That's coming right up really late in the morning. And let's recap again what you're going to get. So you're going to get the webinar HD, the live HD module, the bonus number 1, which is the Facebook group, the 90 minutes of professional training, and the spokesperson videos at $3,138 value for 97 bucks, right? So now you have 2 choices. And I will be happy to take your questions as well, but let's talk about your choices first. First option, you can do nothing. You can just not take a leap of faith. You can just sit there and sit risk-free, right? Second option is you can pony up, small investment today, right, compared to all the value that you're going to get in return, and give it a shot. If it works, great. And if it doesn't, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just ask for your money back. You can get started for $93 today because I'm giving you the coupon. And this is where you go to pick up Webinar HD. You've been able to see an intro. You've registered, so you've been able to see what it looks like as an attendee. And I want you to try to put yourself on the other side of the fence as a host who can actually create your own high-ticket webinars and sell them. And I want to tell you a little bit of the testimonials that we've received. So this one, I've tried and used various platforms over the years. Webinar HD is easy to set up and use, up and running in no time. It integrates with Facebook and YouTube Live well. That's from Kahu. And this guy, gotta love this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and play his video because I couldn't say it any better than he could. This is Miles. And I'm gonna be quiet and let him talk. Give me just a second to cue this up. I'll take a drink of water while you're while we're queuing that up there.
Live webinars have proven to be one of the best ways to share deeper relationships with your existing customers. Selecting a platform to deliver and host your webinars has been a headache for us all until now. I'm Miles Austin from Fill the Funnel, and as a webinar veteran with well over 1,000 webinars presented over the last 10 years, I've used pretty much every platform available. All the big common names like WebEx and GoToWebinar and Webinar Ninja and Webinar Jam. I've had accounts with all of them. Then there are the social platforms like Facebook Live. And do you remember Blab? I was introduced to Webinar HD about a month ago, and frankly, I was skeptical. It promised high-definition video streaming, dynamic layouts to accommodate any type of format, and ease of use like many of them that have come before. So I dug in and I used it heavily to find out for myself. The reason I'm here sharing my experience and my strong recommendation is because it works. Webinar HD has a well-designed dashboard, clear, step-by-step webinar creation, integrating landing pages, welcome pages, countdown timers, YouTube video play, and something they call dynamic layouts, which is really cool. For a very low one-time price, you can feel confident tossing your $500 a year webinar platform out the door. And one of my favorite capabilities in Webinar HD is available in the first upgrade, Forever Webinars. So you can pre-record your webinars and present them at any time in the future and repeat them over and over if you desire. Available for your viewers to sign up and view just like they would in a live webinar. I've been paying $300 a year just for that capability alone. Do yourself a favor, get in during the Webinar HD launch and kiss those big annual payments for a webinar platform goodbye. Webinar HD, I highly recommend.
Oh, I got a little bit not gun shy. What's it called?
Trigger happy.
Trigger happy. That's just not gun shy. It's the opposite. But he finishes out by just saying, I highly recommend. I love Miles. So, Ray, don't you love the way he says, and kiss those? Kiss those high monthly.
I wondered what he was going to say there for a second, but.
So I love it. Give me just a second to get back to my application here. I'm just pulling up my application again. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can go here. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys what's in the funnel, because when you go pick up Webinar HD, a lot of people have lots of questions based on, well, what's going to be offered afterward, and I want to know exactly what the offering is. So here's what it is. On the front end, that's the offer for the 90, do the math, 97 minus the 4. Okay, yeah, for that amount, take me back to algebra class. It's like basic math. Here's what you get is the front, it's the first one on the very left, right? So you're going to get your live HD webinar. Of course, it's in high definition. You get up to 500 attendees. It's cloud-based. It's a webinar system. It's one-click dynamic layouts. You saw the dynamic layouts at the very beginning when we were switching up where Ray was and where I was. We didn't do a lot of it, but gave you an idea. You get live-like webinar simulation, preset instant webinars, done for you sign-up funnel, custom thank you page. You can embed a registration page, custom branding, playing your videos live, built-in autoresponder, live chat is in there, recording and download of your chat, the social media integration, the Facebook Live and YouTube live streaming, uploading your slides, screen sharing. We do also recommend that you upload PDFs, because those are they just kind of convert the best when you're uploading slides. And unlimited co-hosts and presenters, elevating any attendee to presenter. And I actually want to do a demo of that on this webinar when I'm finished going through this. You get HD auto recording, MP4 downloading recording, and every webinar is recorded automatically. So one of my big complaints with GoToWebinar is that I have missed recordings and I've lost really valuable webinars because I forgot. Have you done that, Ray?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And I can tell you, you think I do it once and never do it again, but I've done it quite a few times and just smack myself. And so I guess the lesson wasn't big enough, but I'm just like, man, we lost it. So every webinar is recorded, so you don't have that problem. And then where was I? Custom buy button or on your replay page. So if you're selling a product on your webinar, you can actually put a custom buy button on there, and it can actually link to your to the site where people can buy it and that type of thing. Really, really valuable there. Autoresponder integration, analysis reports, self-help tutorials. So that's all included on the front end. And then the first upsell that actually everyone's loving is, of course, your evergreen webinars, Forever Webinar HD. And this allows you your evergreen. So that's the ability, for those of you that aren't sure, that's the ability to run webinars and not be on them. So as we're talking about, I taught you about how what you need to do is structure your one high-ticket webinar and then run it forever. You want to get the upsell because that's going to give you forever webinars. And it's up to 1,000 attendees. You can import your previously recorded live webinars. You can preset your evergreen webinars. Done for you sign-up funnel, custom branding, choose from previous webinars, built-in autoresponder, recording chat history, enabling your chat. playing on a recurring schedule, social media integration, autoresponder, Zapier integration, analysis and reports, and self-help tutorials. After that, we're going to offer you also that you can, some people, and I actually had somebody tell me webinars are scary. And I thought, you know what, I have to listen to that. And we have to look at how we can help make these webinars less scary. And so what we did is we came up with the marketplace. We're going to offer you training. This is the OTO2 training. It's called Perfect Webinars. My voiceover, which means that as long as you're a member of Perfect Webinars, I will do one presentation for you per month. So I'm presenting your webinar for you. So I'm taking out the scary, right? Making it really easy for you. And then we're also providing a marketplace. And the marketplace is really cool because what it does is you can actually go into the marketplace and say that you just want to monetize. Say that you're like, I don't want to do webinars. I just want to make money online. Well, you can do that. You can go in, find somebody else's webinar, and run it on Webinar HD. And then you can put your buy button in and monetize somebody else's webinar. Alternatively, if you don't, you can go in and put your webinar in there, and other people can come and advertise it for you. So this is really a place to, trade. Let's call it that, trade. So it's a marketplace. And then the final offer that we offer there in there is for some of you who are really into the business model of things, and that is the agency reseller. This, we call it a business in a box, a built-up business for you. This is where you can extend your agency business, offer perfect webinars for your clients. You'll have a dashboard where you can go in and create their login. One thing I have to say about this, because I've had a lot of questions about it, is that if you're going to do the agency version and you want to be able to create webinars that are forever for your clients, you need to make sure that you buy the OTO1 also. So you buy front-end OTO1 and then OTO3 if you want to do that. I just had we've gone back and forth and had a lot of questions on that, so I try to clarify that right up front. So here's the funnel. And I'd like to get to some questions, but I also want to elevate. If you have questions, I'd like it if you type that question in the chat box. I'm going to have Danny watch the chat box because I want to look at my screen here. And what I'd like to do is if you have that question, if you're not shy and you want to be elevated to a host, I'd like to elevate you, have you turn your camera on, and you just use your computer mic. You don't have to have any special equipment. So any one of you could do this. And I just need a volunteer that says, hey, I want to be elevated, I have a question. And we'll bring you on. And even if you just want audio and you don't want your face to be seen, we can do that as well. But I want to show you that on here. Here's the funnel. There's the upsell included here, Forever Webinars, Perfect Webinars, and then Webinar Agency. It's not required, but it's recommended. And again, if you want to run Forever Webinars, which is in the teaching that I've done here, you're going to want that. That's your OTO1 upsell. Okay, so if all this did was finally make your business profitable, would that be worth it? Just give yourself the time to think about that. If it kicked you in the butt and said, okay, it's time to get moving, or if it gave you 2 to 3 high-ticket clients per month, there's the link that you go to if you want to get Webinar HD during launch price. Now, keep in mind, we will be raising this. This will be a monthly fee once it goes up, and we won't be lowering it again. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. So this is where, okay, this is by $67 a month. Even if all you want to do is say, okay, I'm going to grab this because I'm a business person and I'm going to hold on to this so that when it does go up to the monthly rate and everyone's fed up with GoToWebinar, they're going to switch to Webinar HD. I'll have that grandfathered account and I can sell it to someone else, just like I bought somebody else's account and paid buku bucks. So there is that link again. Again, the value is $3,138, and you can get started for $93. Really, really, really economical price for you there. Use the coupon WHD4 off. You want to use that. Again, 2 choices. Do nothing or take that leap, right?
Yep.
30-day guarantee, of course. We back our products. Ray will tell you we back our products, and we want you to use Webinar HD. We want you to use it. We want you to love it. And you've been able to see it on on a webinar. You've been able to see about webinars on webinars. So is it worth gambling just a few minutes of your time to see if, everything that I've claimed, you go ahead and pick it up, try it out, get your first customer, and change your life. A reminder of what you pay if you go to or Demio or Zoom, and reminder that I paid. So you can get lots of return on investment with just your first sale. There's that link again. This is my favorite slide. It's the tale of two people. Who are you? I'm going to sit on the windowsill and wait for my luck to happen, wait for my lucky break, work at my job and wait for my lucky break. Or do you put on that suit or your pajamas and go to work online? Right? We know what Ray does. Ray goes to work online. We love it.
In public.
Yeah, in public. So the order process, I'm going to go right over here to this one. I would like to see if anyone wants to ask a question, and you don't have to show your face if you don't want to, but I'd like to welcome you to. We'd be happy to elevate you as a presenter. Let me switch my screens here.
Yeah, so if you want to be an actual presenter on here for a minute, just put a 1 in the chat box at least so we know kind of like to raise your hand. But of course, if you have other questions and you don't want to be on camera, post those as well, because we want to answer any questions that you have. And just so I can kind of present my testimony on webinars, I've been doing them for a long time. And I can tell you this, I was one of those lucky people that took a leap of faith a couple of years ago on a webinar platform, and I got grandfathered in, and that grandfathered in means I pay $700 a year still.
Oh, so, great.
And that's being grandfathered in. So believe me, this is, if you can get it for $93 versus $700 a year. Now, $700 a year does give me the regular webinars and the recurring evergreen webinars. So it's two products in one package, but I do pay $700 a year for that, at least up until now. So that's kind of how that's worked. So, and here's the thing, even paying $700, I've never fretted it because webinars can be so incredibly profitable when you do them. And, we talked here about a $15,000 webinar. We did one a couple weeks ago that was $35,000. So,
yeah.
It can be very, very profitable. We've done ones in the past that have been even higher than that. I've seen ones where it was $100,000. Now, it wasn't all into my pocket, but I've seen those webinars where they've been $100,000 webinars. And, it's not a pie in the sky sort of deal because, like I said, I've done webinars that have been $10, $15, $20, $30,000, and there's nothing special about me. I just come on and do the webinars, and usually that's with somebody else. Somebody else is doing the webinar. I just say, hey, come watch us on a webinar, and somebody else does all the presentation, and then I pocket half the money. So there's a lot of opportunity. And it's not just things like that. We use webinars for a ton of different things. I used webinars recently to do a course. It was a 4-week course where we did a webinar every single week, and people paid me up front to be able to come to that webinar. And we had a lot of people that paid for that course. So we made, just thousands and thousands of dollars putting on that 4-week course where I did a webinar at the beginning to get people to buy into the course. And then I did a webinar each week that taught them a different lesson each time. And it's very effective for that. We've done webinars for local businesses where the plumbers and the doctors and the lawyers get on the webinar with us, and we show them something about Google My Business or SEO, and then we sell them a service at the end. So you can use it for that. And here's another thing that you won't make money on the webinar, but this is something that can really help you to grow your business. Just do a training webinar. Because guess what? Every time somebody signs up for that free webinar where you're doing a training, guess what you get? You get their contact information, which means that next week you can sell those people something. You now have a list of people. And that's what we all want to be able to do, is grow that list. So even if you don't sell anything on a webinar, you can get people to join, and now you can sell them stuff in the future. So there are so many possibilities with webinars if you take the leap, if you take the chance and start to use them. And it can be a little scary at first. Like, you know, we all know a lot of people don't like to get on camera. Not a lot of people are like me who has never seen a camera he didn't like. But, you know, your voice, you got to talk to people in your everyday life. So talking on a webinar, how hard could that be, right? There you go. So I would suggest highly that you jump in on this. Bill has a good question. Actually, it's kind of an ironic question here. He asks if there's any markup tools for instructing. And I'm assuming that he means like Telestrator style, you know, where you can draw on the screen. And Bill, I can tell you this. I actually had a tool that did that. Well, let me change that. I had a tool that said it did that. And all it did was screw up my webinars. So I've never tried to use one since. So, but
no, we don't have that. I do need to let you know that we have worked on Webinar HD for some time, a lot of investment put in, and we're not stopping the development. The development is continuing. This is the basis. This is the bare bones that we wanted to bring out to the marketplace so we could continue to develop Webinar HD and really give a great value for people. We've asked, people have asked, how are you gonna fund it long term, that kind of thing. And the thing is we'll do it is we give off, it's going to go away, and you're going to need to pay monthly if you want to get on Webinar HD after the launch period. So to answer that question.
And the beauty of this, if people don't understand launches very well, the great thing about launches is what a launch does is it allows consumers that are usually part of some sort of group to get something at a very low price, which of course brings in capital, and then the capital is used to make sure that it gets out to the bigger crowds who are paying a lot more money, and those people are the ones who fund it. So that's kind of how the launch model works with this. And so you get in early, you get it at a very special price, and that helps you, you are helping to build that foundation so that it can be launched to the general public who pay a lot more than you do. So this is your opportunity to be able to do that. So we love that, and that's why we like these launch models.
Totally. And yeah, I mean, I could talk about the launch model in a totally different setting, because we could go on, you and I could go on forever about the launch model. But yeah, we're happy to offer this to you. We're happy that you can see this. Does anyone want to be elevated to a presenter to ask a question?
I'm laughing about that because nobody's volunteering yet.
Nobody wants to. Funny. Okay, well, not today, but basically to show you kind of the different layouts. Ray, do you want to turn your screen? Do you want to turn your camera on?
I certainly would.
Okay. There you are. Yay, Ray. Yes. And so as you're going through, you can just go ahead and click on these different layouts. If I'm doing an interview, for example, then I can go ahead and click that I'm going to do the interview here, and then we can switch over to Ray and bring him up. If you've got other, this is the mastermind session, and you've got other windows will pop in as well if you've got more people on. And you can do an interview layout. You can, if you want to share your screen and you want to make the heads bigger or smaller, you can do that. And these are all.
The last thing I need is a bigger head. So.
Right. Well, good deal. Well, Ray, I just want to thank you for allowing us to come on and be a part of your fantastic audience. If there's any questions, we'll take those so that we can answer any questions you might have. I get a lot of messages and a lot of questions, and so a couple of the common questions, maybe I just go through a couple of the common questions, are about, if you get the agency version, because people want to use it as a business. And the most common question, I tried to cover it in there, is that if I want to create use for my clients, how do I make sure I can get the forever webinar? And the answer to that is you've got to get the front end and the OTO1, and then when you buy the OTO3, then you'll be able to create access so that your clients can do forever webinars as well. So that's the answer to that question.
And it's not very expensive. It's very inexpensive right now. Like I said, for doing evergreen webinars and regular webinars, I was paying $700 a year every year, and that was considered a major bargain to be able to get it at that price. So this is much more affordable than that.
For sure, for sure.
At least for now. Now, if you wait a week, it's not going to be such a bargain anymore. So you definitely want to do it now. It'd still be worth it at the other price, but you definitely want to do it now if you can.
And one common thing, right, and maybe you've seen this as well, is that people say, oh, I'm not going to buy now because I'm going to, I'll find it at that price again. And I'm just here to tell you, you will not find it at that price. I've got some joint venture partners who are like, well, I'm really busy this week. I can't promote, but can we do it in the future? And I'm like, sorry, I can't go back to launch price. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So what I hate happening, and Ray, maybe you've experienced this, is that somebody will come to me well after launch because they were on vacation, they didn't see my email or they didn't see my message, and then they're like, oh, I didn't get in, can you please lower the price? And I hate having to say no because I want you to get a good deal, but the answer will be no. So do you ever get that, Ray?
This week, yes. And
Yeah.
every week, yes.
Yeah.
I had a couple this week actually that did the same thing. They came to me, and it wasn't my product, so I don't even have control over it. But they're like, "Oh, can you get me the price still?" And and let's face it, in this business, a lot of people who say it's going to end on Tuesday at midnight, Thursday at noon, it's still at that price. Well, when somebody actually says at Tuesday at midnight, and they do shut that down, people go, "Oh my gosh, I still want to get it." You've had 3 days, you've had 5 days. You waited and they shut it down. They were honest. They actually shut down what they said they were going to, and now you can't get it. And I don't have control over it. I can ask, but most of the time, if somebody literally shuts it down like that, and and they actually follow through with that, they're probably not going to give you the better deal. So you have to jump on it when you can. Exactly. Bill wants to know if you can explain the agency offer a little more, so you can understand.
Sure. Let me pop over. I'm going to stop my screen sharing because I want to. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to leave you alone there by yourself. Now you're looking at nothing. Let's see. I need to turn it off.
Well, I'm going to show the sales page.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We're going. Yeah, Danny's going to take controls right now and show the sales page so you can actually see what it is. I guess I need to cancel out here. So you can actually see the offering. So the agency version, while he's doing that, is basically if you're wanting to have clients, let's say that you want to get local clients, okay? And Ray talks a lot about doing things with local clients or agencies. And you want to be able to do webinars, offer webinars for your clients. That is when the agency version comes in. So you can actually add more people into your, when you buy the agency version, you can then add Webinar HD, the ability to run your evergreen webinars, for example, on the product itself. Okay, that's what the agency version is. Now, as we're scrolling down the page here, this is just showing you the offering. So we're also including these tools: a sales presentation, an invoice template, a work agreement, and a lead capture site. So if you haven't decided what you're going to do yet, but you want to do something with running an agency, then we've provided you the tools to start your business. So this is great for people who want to start something or who are already doing something, but they want to add something in for your clients. Then that's what this is for. Also, I do a custom sales video for you. When we do this, is one of my favorite things to do because I actually get to be your spokesperson. And actually, before when I was talking about going on Fiverr and stuff like that, I actually enjoy presenting for people. Some people, to public speak, they'd rather die, right? But I love to do it. So I will do your sales presentation for you, and that will be custom. Here is the offering. This is for the agency. So you can get either 50 user licenses or 200 right there. And that's more about the agency. Bill, does that explain? I mean, when you go to the page, you can see it laid out for you, but I've shown you the page so that you get an idea of what you're looking at with the agency version. We're giving you all the tools to set up and run your business. With that said, oh, we've got another question. Yeah, so the agency rights are tied to one account. So in other words, you buy the agency, you now have an agency account. You now can go to your clients and say, do you know the power of webinars? And you can explain to them what a webinar is. A lot of these people who are running local businesses don't know. In fact, we have a group of businesses here in the Amsterdam area that we hold free training for, because they're like bakers and spa owners and things like that. And we actually have trained them. We've actually held meetings where we talk to them about the power of taking your products online and using your marketing online. And I actually asked one of them, give me a raise of hands, how many of you really know the power of going online, or do you know what a webinar is? And these people do not know what a webinar is. So even in this day and age, there are a lot of businesses busy in their business that don't have time to work, on their marketing and things like that. So you can help them in the webinar section. Anyways, so the agency, you're basically running the agency. And you're saying, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and we can run these webinars for you. Maybe you, as the agency owner, create the presentation. Maybe you want me to present it. Maybe you present it yourself. However you want to do that. And you're creating a webinar for a client, okay? And then you're going to run that webinar for the client. Agency business model. Does that make sense?
So it's almost like you have 50 versions of it, and 50 clients can use a version of it.
Yep. So you're now operating the business of an agency, and you've added webinars into one of your products. So you might do, even for your clients, you might do videos or something. You might do social media marketing for them. They might say, because they're a baker, for example, or a spa owner, and they're saying, look, I've got to grow my spa. I'm not getting enough people in the door. And you're saying, okay, well, we can run a webinar, and that can be one of your tools to get more people in the door, for example. Okay. Where can the agency be purchased? I see a question here.
I'm grabbing the link right now for them.
Oh, thank you. So the agency is an upsell. So Ray has a link that he will put in there for you, and you'll be able to get that version.
There you go, Linda.
There you go.
Link.
So yeah, that is the agency version. Being able to create multiple webinar HD accounts. I guess we just say it that way in a nutshell. I explained the long version. It's just creating multiple webinar HD accounts. Danny's across the table laughing at me. Let me tell you a story. Anyway. Oh, it's all good. Anything else you guys want to see that you haven't seen? We're happy to show you. If you have questions about the upsells or anything like that, we're happy to show you. But yeah, Ray, thank you for bringing us on. We love to be able to come on and show our product.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I think it's a much better. I mean, it's for any product, it's a great way to present it. But when you're presenting the product with the product, that's even better, I suppose. So.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that it's actually been amazing what you can do with the power inside of you. So we talk about the low ticket offer, adding your high ticket converter, and I just want to stress, even if you don't pick up Webinar HD today, go away figuring out or getting clarity about what it is that you can add or that you can monetize or that you can develop to actually take that beauty that's inside of you and get it out to the world. Because I think that's the main thing. And that's why I love the whole concept of webinars, because we can learn something from everyone. There's a lady that I know in my area. She's American, living in a foreign country like me. And she's just like, oh, I can't get a job and I don't know what I'm going to do. And, she's been into IT and everything, and she knows what webinars are. And I'm like, but why don't you teach? She's a teacher. I'm like, why don't you teach on a webinar? And then you can create, you can have products and you can be able to sell something on the webinar. And I mean, her jaw dropped and she went, what? Me do it? Me? And I was like, yes, you. So, people don't want to get out of their comfort zone. But then if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you stay same, right? You're in the same spot.
Yep.
So if
you don't want to sound
anything,
like Yoda, but the power is within you to do this, you know. It's just a matter of focusing and actually taking the steps to do this, and it can be done. And like I said, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
yeah.
You know, there's nothing special about me that gives me a special gene for doing webinars or videos. I just stick my face in front of a camera and do it, and it works. You know, it just flat out works for all sorts of different things. Again, you could be running webinars specifically to local businesses if you're trying to sell business services. Teach them something and then sell the service, because I can tell you right now, when we've taught people how to do this, the end of the sessions, and this is webinar, we've also done these live. At the end of the sessions, they're like, I don't want to do all that. How can, you know, can I just pay you to do it? And that's what ends up happening. And it's not just in that scenario, but in many scenarios. If you've got a product you're trying to sell, or you're trying to teach people how to use a product, webinars are perfect for that. If you've got, you know, if you're an affiliate and you want to show somebody else another product, boom, there you go. That's one way to do it. And the cool thing about this is, you know, we often see, in this case here, you know, we've actually brought on Danny and Kim for this particular webinar, but let's say that I was promoting their product and they weren't around. I could still run a webinar showing you guys how it works. You know, so if you go out and you find a product that you think could sell well, and you've got, you know, you want to bring in an audience, you don't need the creator of that product in order to run a webinar and show people how it works to get them to buy it. You can do it on your own. And we've done that many times where I've seen a product that's really good and I've said, hey, let's do a webinar. You guys come on. I'm going to show you how it works right live on the webinar. And we've done that with Facebook Live. We've done that with YouTube Live. We've done that with webinars. And it works. It's a very, very good system for doing that, for selling affiliate-based products as well, selling your own products, just teaching. Like I said, you're collecting leads every time you teach something. I just started doing a new webinar that's going to be coming out in the next week or so, and we're not selling anything on that webinar. We're just teaching, the goal being that we're presenting it to a new audience and collecting new leads, and then afterwards we can continue to sell to them for years. And that's one of the beauties of webinars is once you collect a lead, you can sell to them for years. I have people that buy products from me that have been on my list for 8 years now, and they're still there and they still buy products. And if you can get people on those lists and you can do it through webinars, it's very, very powerful. Totally.
It is so powerful in the fact that, you know, when...
Ake wants to know if this is really live.
Oh, it's live. We're up early. Actually, we're up late. See, we put the baby to bed. We have a 7-month-old. So I'm a grandma, but I'm also a new mom. So it's really cool going through this stage of life. But, you know, we actually, because I've also homeschooled for 2 years of my life, my older children who are 22 and 19, I homeschooled them for 2 years, and I lived in a foreign country. And as Danny and I have been talking about, as we've been creating this webinar system, you were talking about teaching or sharing knowledge, sharing whatever. And I was just talking to my son this morning, my 22-year-old, who, you know, is, I know, right? He's at a place in his life where he's like, he loves to sell, like he sells stones and crystals through an eBay store. And I'm like, sweetie, there's like such a more effective way to do this. Like you need to drive value to your customers, and you can do that through a webinar. And then, you know, you just give them information, and then they become a customer, and then they have an interest in your stones. And so we're talking about like a business model for him. And it's just further ingrained. Like, isn't it true, Ray, when you tell somebody about how powerful webinars are, it just further ingrains that gong feeling of how this is the way that the future is going. No more are we going to see schools running the way they used to. I think we're going to see more online training.
My daughter is homeschooled now, and she does the same thing. You know, it's all web based, and you know, love it. I think it's fantastic, and it opens up, you know, so many possibilities because she's not tied to a classroom all day. So she attends a class online, and you know, if they're talking about, I don't know, tigers, they can go to the zoo. And they can be with the tigers instead of being trapped in a little classroom all day long. And those are webinars. You know, you don't think of that as a webinar, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. So what I don't like is when people get their mindset around, okay, it just has to be for selling, or it just has to be for this or that. Yep. You could really, and if you need help masterminding this, just you could really, just about any niche market, any market that you are in, you could find a way to drive value using a webinar.
Yep. In fact, Bill asked the question, he says, so service industry should design a product package for webinars. And I think going back, I think you mentioned a baker.
Yep.
You know, and I was thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, how does a baker do a webinar? And I'm thinking, well, why doesn't a baker teach people how to make a certain type of cookies? And then at the end, it's like, hey, you want to buy these cookies? You can come on down to my store. Or you want to buy cupcakes, or you want to buy this? You know, we've got a store. You can come down anytime, and you can pick any of these up. And it's the same with anything. You know, a plumber could do a webinar teaching people how to take care of a certain issue so that it doesn't become a problem. You know, this type of thing tends to break down very easily. Make sure you check it twice a year or whatever. Right. And then they can be like, and by the way, you need this replaced, give me a call right now. There's a lot of different ways we can do that. We had a mortgage guy. We were doing webinars with him, and he was teaching about mortgage packages. And then people were able to come in and buy the mortgage packages. We did it with bankruptcy attorneys, where we taught all about what bankruptcy is and how it works. And then people that needed a bankruptcy attorney could call afterwards. So there's a lot of things you can do with this that are completely out of the box that we don't think of. Like I said, my wife just became a travel agent. If anyone is traveling, please let me know.
Cool.
And what she had to go through was a ton of webinars, and she hated them, but you know, because she had to do 100 of them. But that was the best way to be taught. She had to do a Disney webinar about Disney cruises. She had to do a Norwegian webinar where they showed all the stuff about the boats, and she got to learn all these different things that she wouldn't have known beforehand. You know, and it's just an easy way to do it. Can you imagine, you know, in 1988, if you wanted to become a travel agent and you needed to learn all these things, you'd have to either go to a seminar, travel to get there, or you'd have to read through books. And you know, if you have questions, you got to, I don't even know how you'd contact somebody. I guess you get on the phone at that point to ask questions. But with the webinars, you get through it right there and then. You watch them, and they're done. And to be 100% honest, most of those webinars that she watched were pre-recorded webinars. They were not live. Some were. Most of them were pre-recorded webinars.
Well, she's figured out that she needs to be able to, you know, maximize her time.
Well, and now she needs to learn how to do webinars so she can, you know, sell her products through webinars, because that would be the perfect medium to do that. Because imagine, you know, hey, I'm going to reveal the 10 secrets of getting the best Caribbean vacation or the best, you know, cruise through wherever. And you can sit there and go through and teach all these different tips. Or, you know, I'm going to teach the 10 tips to get the best deals at Disneyland or Disney World. And you can do that. And then, of course, at the end, it's like, you ready to go to Disney World? Give me a call. We'll set it up, and we'll, you know, get you a nice package. Boom, done. So
right.
It's a very, very effective method for selling pretty much anything.
Mm-hmm. Or disseminating any information that you need to get out there.
Anything, whatever it happens to be.
Yep. And when you're high on the mind, that's where they're going to go to. That's what I was trying to explain to my son. Like, he's like, but I'm not in it for the money, Mom. And I'm like, I know you're not. I'm just teaching you efficiency. So you do need to pay your bills, right? You do need to handle certain expenses. So even if you're not like money hungry, it's just serve the world with what you have to offer. Give them value. And when you give them value, they'll come back for more.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I love it. Love it. Well, Ray, it's late here.
It is.
I'm going to try to get to bed before the baby wakes up. She usually sleeps through the night. It has been such a pleasure. Guys and gals, thank you so much for being on and taking a look at how you can actually monetize and make money online using webinars and taking a look at Webinar HD. And thank you, Ray.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. And I hope that people got a lot of value out of it, because I know, you know, I've been playing around with this webinar software, Webinar HD, for about, about a week now probably. And it was really good to see experts running it so I could see some of the features that I haven't even played around with yet. So that's exciting to see. And I hope everybody else liked what they had. If you have questions, by the way, of course, please feel free to reach out to me. You can always send me a message. I know anybody that's on here now probably knows exactly how to get me on Facebook. So send me a message, and if I don't know the answer, I will certainly pass it along to make sure that it gets answered for you. And we always look forward to talking to people, and that's why I've switched most of it to Facebook, so we can be live just like a webinar. We can actually do face-to-face stuff. So just ask if you got questions, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. But most of all, as I always say at the end of most of my videos, everything we talked about today works, but only if you do. And the way you have to work is by taking action. And this is your opportunity to take action before you kick yourself next week and the price is a lot more. So be sure to check it out right now. Ask those questions, take action, and start making that money because, like I said, this is one of the times where I can testify to you that webinars will make you thousands of dollars once you get into the swing of it. And, same thing for Kim. She's been through the same thing.
Yep.
Do webinars a lot, and they are very, very effective.
Totally. Couldn't say it better. Couldn't say it better, Ray. Thank you, thank you, thank you all, and I'll wish you all a happy day, morning, or good night.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again, Kim, Danny. We appreciate you doing that. Go get some sleep, and we'll talk to you guys, I'm sure, in the morning.
Yeah, talk to you soon, Ray.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.